In the last episode, Aethereia teetered on the brink of collapse as Alex and Arkea prepared to face Archon's forces in a high-stakes battle to prevent ecological disasters and sabotage the oppressive regime's operations. With the Resistance's cryptic message still echoing in his mind, Alex felt an unshakable sense of purpose and duty to act. He knew that time was running out. I stood on Elysium's precipice, gazing out at the starry expanse, my heart racing with anticipation. The wind whipped my hair into a frenzy as I scanned the horizon, searching for any sign of Arkea. Our last communication had been brief, but I knew she was waiting for me in the old windmill on the outskirts of town. As I descended into the settlement, the familiar sight of the windmill's crumbling facade brought a sense of comfort. I quickened my pace, my boots crunching on the dry earth. Arkea was already there, her eyes fixed on the navigation device in her hand. "We're running late," she said, her voice laced with urgency. "The satellite feed indicates a possible window for our next op. We need to move now." I nodded, my mind racing with the mission parameters. Our intel suggested that Archon's forces were moving a high-priority shipment through the sector. If we could intercept it, we might be able to cripple their operations and gain a crucial advantage. Without a word, we set off towards the extraction point, our footsteps synchronized as we navigated the deserted streets. The silence between us was a testament to our trust and shared determination. We had been through hell and back together. I knew I could rely on Arkea with my life. As we approached the outskirts, a low-flying aircraft sliced through the sky, its spotlight casting an eerie glow over the terrain. I felt a jolt of adrenaline. We were running out of time. "That looks like our ride," Arkea said, her hand on the grip of her rifle. "Let's move." We sprinted across the open ground, the aircraft's engines growing louder as we closed in on the pickup point. I could feel my heart pounding in my chest, the stars above blurring into a smear of light. A burst of static crackled over the comms device on Arkea's wrist. I exchanged a wary glance with her. Something was wrong. The aircraft banked hard to the left, its spotlight raking across the terrain. I shielded my eyes, a cold dread creeping up my spine. Arkea's voice was tight with concern. "Alex, we've got company previously." Alex and Arkea prepared to face Archon's forces in a high-stakes battle to prevent ecological disasters and sabotage the oppressive regime's operations. With the Resistance's cryptic message still echoing in his mind, Alex felt an unshakable sense of purpose and duty to act, knowing that time was running out. As I spun around, my heart racing, the aircraft's spotlight illuminated a convoy of armored vehicles emerging from the darkness, their headlights casting an eerie glow over the barren landscape. Archon's forces had ambushed us, and we were now caught in the crosshairs of a deadly trap. The comms device crackled to life again, Arkea's voice laced with urgency as she relayed coordinates to our extraction team. I knew we had to move fast before Archon's forces closed in. I grabbed Arkea's arm and we sprinted towards the aircraft, its engines roaring as it prepared for takeoff. The terrain blurred around us as we fled, bullets whizzing past our heads, the sound of gunfire and screams filling the air. We reached the aircraft just as the hatch opened and we leaped aboard, the door slamming shut behind us. We took to the skies, the aircraft shuddering as it evaded the hail of bullets from below. I peered out the window, my gut twisting as I watched the convoy recede into the distance. Wed narrowly escaped, but I knew this was far from over. "Arkea, we need to regroup and reassess," I shouted above the din of the engines. "Our priority is to identify the shipment's contents and locate its next destination." Arkea nodded, her eyes locked on the navigation device as she worked to hack into Archon's encrypted channels. I knew she'd find a way. She was the best in the business. As we flew over the desolate landscape, the stars twinkling like diamonds above, I felt a sense of determination burning within me. Wed faced countless battles, but this was different. This was personal. Archon had pushed us to the edge, and now it was time to push back. "Arkea, I need you to locate any resistance cells in the area," I said, my voice firm. We need to rally the troops and prepare for an all-out war. Arkea's gaze locked onto mine, a fire burning in her eyes. I'm on it, Alex. We'll find a way to take them down. The aircraft leveled out and I gazed out the window, the stars above seeming to pulse with a newfound sense of purpose. We were in this together, and together, we'd bring Archon to its knees. But as we flew further into the unknown, I couldn't shake the feeling that we were being watched, that Archon had an ace up its sleeve, waiting to strike when we least expected it. I steeled myself for the battles ahead, knowing that the fate of Aethereia hung in the balance. And then, Arkea's voice cut through the tension, her words sending a shiver down my spine. Alex, I've got something. There's a resistance cell operating in the underworld, led by a mysterious figure known only as the Architect. They claim to have knowledge of Archon's deepest secrets and are willing to share it with us. For a price. I felt a thrill of excitement mixed with trepidation. The underworld was a labyrinthine network of tunnels and hidden chambers, notorious for its dangers and mysteries. But if this architect possessed the information we needed to bring down Archon, I was willing to take the risk. Let's do it, I said, my voice firm. We'll meet with the architect and see what secrets they're willing to share. It's time to take the fight to Archon's doorstep. The aircraft banked towards the underworld, and I felt the rush of adrenaline as we dove into the unknown, ready to face whatever dangers lay ahead previously. Alex and Arkea narrowly escaped an ambush by Archon's forces, fleeing in an aircraft as bullets whizzed past their heads. They regrouped, determined to identify the contents of a mysterious shipment and locate its next destination, while also seeking out a resistance cell in the underworld, led by the enigmatic the Architect, who claimed to possess knowledge of Archon's deepest secrets. As we descended into the underworld's labyrinthine tunnels, the aircraft's engines dying down, an eerie silence enveloped us. The darkness seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy, and I could feel the weight of the unknown pressing down upon us. Arkea's eyes locked onto mine, her gaze steady as she handed me a comms device. This is the only frequency the Architect will respond to. Be cautious, Alex. We don't know what we're walking into. I took a deep breath, the device's cold metal reassuring in my hand. With a flicker of trepidation, I initiated the connection. The line crackled to life, and a low, gravelly voice spoke, its tone dripping with an air of mystery. Welcome, Alex. I've been expecting you. You're willing to pay the price for the secrets I hold. I felt a shiver run down my spine as I replied, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to bring down Archon. The Architect's laughter echoed through the comms device, a cold, mirthless sound. Very well. Meet me at the old clockwork factory on the outskirts of the underworld, but come alone, and be prepared to pay the price. The line went dead, leaving me with more questions than answers. I turned to Arkea, my mind racing with the possibilities. I'll go in alone. You provide overwatch from a distance. If anything goes wrong, get out and regroup with the resistance. Arkea's eyes narrowed, but she nodded, understanding. Be careful, Alex. We don't know what we're up against. I shouldered my rifle, a sense of trepidation building in my chest. This was it. This was the moment of truth. I took a deep breath, steeled myself, and stepped out into the unknown. As I made my way through the winding tunnels, the air thick with the smells of decay and neglect, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was walking into a trap. But I had to know what the Architect held. I had to know what secrets lay hidden in the depths of the underworld. The clockwork factory loomed before me, its crumbling facade a testament to the underworld's forgotten past. I approached the entrance, my heart pounding in my chest, and pushed open the creaking door. The room was dimly lit, the only sound the ticking of ancient clockwork mechanisms. And then a figure emerged from the shadows. The Architect. Its face was shrouded in darkness, its presence radiating an aura of power and mystery. Welcome, Alex, it said, its voice like gravel. I've been waiting for you. You want to know the secrets I hold. Very well. I'll tell you, but first you must prove yourself worthy. I felt a surge of determination. I would do whatever it took to uncover the truth. I'm ready. Whatever the test, I'll pass it. The architect's laughter echoed through the room, a cold, mirthless sound. "Very well. Let's begin. The fate of Aethereia hangs in the balance previously. Alex and Arkea navigated the treacherous underworld, seeking out a resistance cell led by the enigmatic the architect, who claimed to possess knowledge of Archon's deepest secrets. The architect's cryptic message had led Alex to an abandoned clockwork factory on the outskirts of the underworld, where he was about to face an unknown test to prove his worth. As I stood before the architect, its face shrouded in darkness, I felt an intense sense of focus. I was ready to do whatever it took to uncover the secrets that could bring down Archon. The architect's gaze seemed to bore into my soul as if searching for any hint of weakness or doubt. I steeled myself, my heart pounding in my chest. "Very well," the architect said, its voice like gravel. "Let us begin. The fate of Aethereia hangs in the balance." With a wave of its hand, the room was bathed in an intense, blinding light. I shielded my eyes, feeling a strange energy coursing through my veins. The light began to take shape, coalescing into a series of holographic projections that surrounded me. Each projection depicted a different scene: a ravaged landscape, a devastated cityscape, a group of innocent civilians being brutalized by Archon's forces. The images were vivid, disturbing, and all too real. "What am I supposed to do?" I asked, my voice firm despite the growing sense of unease. "Choose," the architect replied, its voice devoid of emotion. "Choose which of these scenarios you will allow to unfold. The fate of Aethereia hangs in the balance, and your decision will determine the course of its future." I felt a cold sweat trickling down my spine as I gazed upon the holographic projections. How could I make such a choice? Each scenario was a nightmare, a catastrophe waiting to happen, and yet I knew I had to decide. With a deep breath, I focused on the first scenario, the ravaged landscape. I remembered the words of Aethereia's resistance, the determination to protect the planet's fragile ecosystem. I knew what I had to do. "I choose." "None of these," I said, my voice firm. "I won't let any of these scenarios unfold. I'll find another way to stop Archon, to save Aethereia." The room fell silent, the holographic projections dissipating as if they had never existed. The architect's gaze lingered on me, its face still shrouded in darkness. "You have passed the test," it said, its voice tinged with a hint of surprise. "But be warned, Alex. The road ahead will be fraught with danger, and the choices you make will have far-reaching consequences. Are you prepared to bear the weight of that responsibility?" I stood tall, my heart pounding in my chest. I knew what lay ahead. I knew the risks, the sacrifices, the burdens I would have to carry. And I was ready. "I am prepared," I said, my voice firm. "I am prepared to do whatever it takes to save Aethereia." The architect nodded, its face still hidden in the shadows. "Then let us begin. The secrets I hold are waiting for you previously." Alex faced a daunting test set by the enigmatic the architect in an abandoned clockwork factory, where he was forced to choose between 3 catastrophic scenarios that would determine the fate of Aethereia. Instead, Alex refused to make a choice, vowing to find an alternative way to stop Archon and save the planet. As I stood before the architect, I felt a sense of determination and purpose. The weight of my decision still lingered in the air, but I knew I had made the right choice. The architect's gaze seemed to bore into my soul once more, but this time I sensed a hint of approval. "We shall proceed," the architect said, its voice laced with a newfound sense of urgency. "The secrets I hold are not for the faint of heart. You must be prepared to face the truth, no matter how brutal it may be." With a wave of its hand, the room was bathed in a soft blue light. The air seemed to vibrate with an otherworldly energy as the architect led me through a labyrinthine series of tunnels, each one revealing a piece of Aethereia's ancient history. We walked in silence, the only sound being the soft hum of machinery and the pounding of my heart. Suddenly, we stopped before a massive circular door adorned with intricate glowing runes. The architect raised its hand and the door slid open, revealing a vast, dimly lit chamber filled with ancient artifacts and strange glowing orbs. At the center of the room, A massive, crystalline structure pulsed with an intense blue energy. "This is the heart of Aethereia," the architect said, its voice filled with reverence. "A relic of a bygone era, holding the secrets of the planet's creation and its downfall. You must unlock its secrets, Alex, if you hope to defeat Archon and restore balance to Aethereia." As I approached the crystalline structure, I felt a strange energy coursing through my veins, as if the heart of Aethereia was calling to me. I raised my hand, and to my surprise, the energy responded, amplifying my senses and granting me a glimpse into the secrets that lay within. The visions that flooded my mind were both exhilarating and terrifying. I saw the ancient civilizations that had once thrived on Aethereia, harnessing the planet's energy to build sprawling cities and marvels of technology. I saw the downfall of those civilizations, brought about by their own greed and short-sightedness. And I saw the rise of Archon, born from the ashes of destruction, its primary goal to exploit Aethereia's energy for its own purposes. But I also saw a glimmer of hope, a chance to redeem the mistakes of the past, to restore balance to the planet, and to forge a new era of cooperation and unity. The stakes were higher than ever, but I knew that I was ready to face the challenge. "I understand," I said, my voice firm. "I'll do whatever it takes to unlock the secrets of the heart of Aethereia and defeat Archon." The architect nodded, its face still hidden in the shadows. "Then let us begin. The fate of Aethereia hangs in the balance, and time is running out." As I delved deeper into the secrets of the heart of Aethereia, I knew that I was about to embark on a journey that would change the course of history. I was ready to face whatever lay ahead, armed with determination, courage, and the knowledge that I was not alone. The battle for Aethereia's future had begun, and I was ready to lead the charge. Previously, Alex refused to choose between 3 catastrophic scenarios in the Clockwork Factory, and instead vowed to find an alternative way to stop Archon and save Aethereia. The architect then led Alex through a series of ancient tunnels, revealing pieces of Aethereia's history, and finally, to the heart of Aethereia, a relic holding the secrets of the planet's creation and downfall. As I stood before the heart of Aethereia, I felt the weight of my newfound responsibility. The visions I had seen revealed the true extent of Archon's destruction, but they also showed me a glimmer of hope. With the architect's guidance, I began to uncover the secrets of the ancient artifact, poring over ancient texts and deciphering cryptic codes. But our progress was soon interrupted by an urgent message from Arkea, warning of an imminent attack on one of our key allies. The resistance base on the distant planet of Nyx was under siege, and our friends were fighting for their lives. The architect nodded solemnly, and with a wave of its hand a portal swirled to life, beckoning me to take action. "Nyx is a pivotal point in the war against Archon," the architect said. "You must act quickly, Alex. The fate of our allies and the future of Aethereia hangs in the balance." Without hesitation, I stepped through the portal, ready to face whatever lay ahead. The familiar sensation of teleportation washed over me, and I found myself on the ravaged surface of Nyx. The air was thick with smoke and ash, and the ground trembled beneath my feet as Archon's forces clashed with the resistance. I charged into battle, my determination and skills honed to a razor's edge. The fight was intense, with laser fire and explosions erupting all around me. But I was not alone. Arkea and her team fought alongside me, and together we pushed back against Archon's forces. As we fought, I realized that the battle for Nyx was not just about saving our allies, but about crippling Archon's ability to wage war. The planet was a key hub for Archon's operations, and if we could secure it, we could deal a devastating blow to their forces. With renewed ferocity, I led the charge, using my amplified abilities to take down Archon's mechs and disable their defenses. The resistance fought bravely, and together we slowly but surely gained the upper hand. But just as victory seemed within our grasp, a colossal mech emerged from the smoke-choked horizon. Its eyes glowed with an otherworldly energy, and its massive fists crackled with power. The mech was unlike any I had seen before, and I knew that taking it down would require all my skill and cunning. "This is Archon's newest creation, the Eradicator," Arkea shouted, her voice barely audible above the din of battle. "We need to take it down, Alex, or risk losing everything we've fought for." With a deep breath, I steeled myself for the challenge ahead. The fate of Nyx, the Resistance, and Aethereia hung in the balance. I was ready to face whatever lay ahead, driven by my determination to save the planet and redeem the mistakes of the past. The battle for Nyx had reached its climax, and I was ready to lead the charge. Previously, Alex refused to choose between catastrophic scenarios in the Clockwork Factory, and instead vowed to find an alternative way to stop Archon and save Aethereia. He then discovered the heart of Aethereia, a relic holding the secrets of the planet's creation and downfall, and received an urgent message from Arkea warning of an imminent attack on the Resistance base on Nyx. As I faced the Eradicator, a behemoth of twisted metal and energy, I felt the weight of my responsibility to save Aethereia bearing down on me. The planet's fate and that of the Resistance hung in the balance. I knew I had to be bold, to push the limits of my abilities and unleash the full fury of my determination. With a fierce cry, I charged forward, unleashing a barrage of energy blasts that ricocheted off the Eradicator's armor. Arkea and her team joined the fray, targeting the mech's vulnerable joints and firing points. But the Eradicator was relentless, its power surging as it adapted to our attacks. Undaunted, I remembered the secrets I had uncovered at the heart of Aethereia. The ancient artifacts, the cryptic codes, they all pointed to a hidden weakness in the Eradicator's design. I focused my energy, pouring all my knowledge and intuition into a single, desperate attack. The air seemed to shudder as I unleashed a blast of concentrated energy, striking the Eradicator's central core. The mech stumbled, its systems faltering, and for a moment I thought I had succeeded. But then, a blinding flash of light illuminated the battlefield, and the Eradicator transformed before our eyes. Its armor morphed, adapting to our tactics, and its core energy surged to new heights. I realized with a jolt of fear that we were not just fighting a machine, we were facing the culmination of Archon's darkest research. The Eradicator's transformation was accompanied by an eerie silence, as if the very fabric of reality was bending to accommodate its newfound power. I knew that if we didn't find a way to counter this new threat, all would be lost. Arkea's voice cut through the stillness, her words laced with urgency. "Alex, we need to fall back and regroup. We can't take on the Eradicator in its current form." But I knew that retreat was not an option, not when the fate of Aethereia hung in the balance. I steeled myself, drawing upon the secrets of the heart and the power of my own determination. "We can't fall back," I said, my voice firm. "We have to find a way to stop the Eradicator, no matter what it takes." Arkea's eyes locked onto mine, and for a moment I saw a glimmer of doubt. But then her resolve hardened and she nodded. "Then let's do it," she said. "Let's find a way to take down the Eradicator and save Aethereia." Together, we charged forward, our bond and determination kindling hope in the face of overwhelming odds. The battle for Nyx had reached its climax, and the fate of Aethereia hung in the balance. But I knew that as long as I stood alongside Arkea and the Resistance, there was always a way forward, always a chance to redeem the past and forge a brighter future. Previously, Alex and Arkea led a desperate charge against the Eradicator, a monstrous mech spawned from Archon's darkest research, as it bore down on the Resistance base on Nyx. With the fate of Aethereia hanging by a thread, Alex refused to back down, fueling his determination with the secrets of the heart of Aethereia. As I faced the Eradicator, its very presence seeming to warp the fabric of reality, I felt an unsettling sensation, as if the planet itself was awakening, responding to my unyielding resolve. The air seemed to vibrate with an otherworldly energy, and I sensed the whispers of Aethereia's ancient magic coursing through my veins. With a fierce battle cry, I unleashed a torrent of energy blasts, each one infused with the primal power of the planet. The Eradicator stumbled, its armor crackling under the onslaught, and for a moment I thought I had finally found the key to its downfall. But the mech adapted, its systems realigning to counter my attack. The Eradicator's core energy surged, and it unleashed a devastating retaliatory strike. I raised my hands, channeling the heart's secrets to amplify my abilities. The energy shield that erupted around me was unlike anything I had ever achieved before, a swirling vortex of light and sound that seemed to resonate with the planet's very essence. The Eradicator's attack was deflected, but I knew the reprieve was temporary. Arkea approached me, her eyes locked onto mine, and together we orchestrated a daring plan to exploit the mech's weakness. We needed to lure the Eradicator into the nearby crystal caverns, where the ancient structures might hold the key to its destruction. As we led the Eradicator into the labyrinthine tunnels, the walls began to shimmer, reacting to the mech's presence. I sensed the caverns awakening, responding to the primal energy that flowed through me. The air was electric with anticipation, and I knew that this was our chance to turn the tide of battle. With the Eradicator mere steps behind, we stumbled upon an ancient temple hidden deep within the caverns. The walls were adorned with cryptic symbols, pulsing with a power that seemed to mirror the heart of Aethereia. I knew that this was the key to defeating the Eradicator, but as I reached out to claim the ancient knowledge, the temple began to seal itself, trapping us within. The Eradicator's roar echoed through the caverns, and I realized that we were not alone. Archon's agents, led by the enigmatic and ruthless Commander Vex, emerged from the shadows, their eyes fixed on the temple. "It seems you've found the Temple of the Ancients," Vex sneered. "A pity you want live to unlock its secrets. The Eradicator will ensure that this temple and the knowledge it holds remain buried forever." With the Eradicator closing in and Archon's agents at our backs, I knew that our only hope lay in unlocking the secrets of the ancient temple. But as I turned to face the cryptic symbols, I felt a shiver run down my spine, for I sensed that the temple held more than just ancient knowledge. It held the key to Aethereia's very survival previously. Alex and Arkea led a desperate charge against the Eradicator, a monstrous mech spawned from Archon's darkest research, as it bore down on the resistance base on Nyx. With the fate of Aethereia hanging by a thread, Alex refused to back down, fueling his determination with the secrets of the heart of Aethereia. As they lured the Eradicator into the crystal caverns, they stumbled upon an ancient temple hidden deep within the tunnels, where they were confronted by Archon's agents, led by Commander Vex. As I stood before the temple's ancient walls, the air thick with anticipation, I knew that our fate and that of Aethereia hung in the balance. The Eradicator's growl echoed through the caverns, a constant reminder of the ticking clock. I took a deep breath, focusing on the cryptic symbols etched into the walls. My connection to the heart of Aethereia pulsed within me, guiding my hand as I reached out to touch the ancient markings. The temple began to shimmer, responding to my touch. The air around us seemed to vibrate with an otherworldly energy, and I sensed the whispers of Aethereia's ancient magic coursing through my veins. Arkea's eyes locked onto mine, a spark of hope flickering within them. Commander Vex's sneer, however, only grew more pronounced, his hand resting on the hilt of his sword. "You fools," he spat. "You think you can unlock the secrets of the ancients. You're no match for the power that lies within these walls." I ignored his taunts, my focus fixed on the symbols. The temple's energy began to build, the air charged with an electric tension. I could feel the power of the ancients coursing through me, urging me to unlock the secrets of the temple. Suddenly, the symbols on the wall flared to life, bathing the caverns in a soft, ethereal glow. The Eradicator, sensing the shift in energy, paused in its approach, its systems momentarily confused. I took advantage of the reprieve, dashing forward to claim the ancient knowledge. As I touched the glowing symbols, a rush of visions flooded my mind. I saw the ancient civilizations that once thrived on Aethereia, harnessing the planet's primal energy to build sprawling cities and harness its power. I saw the downfall of those civilizations, ravaged by wars and environmental disasters, and I saw the remnants of their knowledge, hidden away in ancient artifacts and cryptic scripts. The visions faded, leaving me gasping for air. Archea's hand on my shoulder steadied me, her eyes shining with a mix of wonder and trepidation. Commander Vex, however, seemed to have lost his composure, his expression twisted into a snarl. "You've unleashed a power that will bring about your downfall," he spat, drawing his sword. "The Eradicator will crush you, and Archon will claim the secrets of the temple for themselves." I stood tall, my determination burning brighter than ever. "We won't let that happen," I declared, my voice echoing through the caverns. "We'll harness the power of the ancients to destroy the Eradicator and bring hope back to Aethereia." With newfound purpose, I rallied Arkea, and together we charged forward, determined to unlock the secrets of the temple and turn the tide of battle. The Eradicator loomed large, its armor crackling with energy, but I knew that we had the upper hand. The power of the ancients coursed through me, guiding my actions and fueling my resolve. As we clashed with the Eradicator, the temple's energy surged around us, amplifying our abilities and fueling our determination. The battle raged on, the outcome hanging precariously in the balance. But I knew that, with the power of the ancients on our side, we would emerge victorious. The fate of Aethereia hung in the balance, and I was determined to ensure its future. Previously, Alex and Arkea led a desperate charge against the Eradicator, a monstrous mech spawned from Archon's darkest research, as it bore down on the resistance base on Nyx. With the fate of Aethereia hanging by a thread, Alex refused to back down, fueling his determination with the secrets of the heart of Aethereia. As the Eradicator's armor crackled with energy, its massive claws swiping at the temple, I knew our window of opportunity was closing fast. The ancient temple's power surged through me, and I channeled it into a fierce cry, unleashing a blast of energy that sent the Eradicator stumbling back. In the reprieve, I seized the chance to explore the temple further, racing through the labyrinthine tunnels with Arkea by my side. We discovered cryptic artifacts, ancient texts, and mysterious relics that hinted at the secrets of Aethereia's forgotten past. The more we uncovered, the more I realized that the temple held the key to defeating Archon and restoring balance to the planet. Suddenly, the temple's energy began to fluctuate wildly, warning signals flashing across the ancient walls. I sensed a presence, ancient and powerful, stirring from the depths of the temple. The air vibrated with an electric charge, and I felt the whispers of Aethereia's ancient magic growing louder. Archea's hand grasped mine, her eyes locked onto mine with a mixture of fear and wonder. "What's happening, Alex?" she whispered. I didn't have an answer, but I knew we were on the cusp of something monumental. The temple's energy was building toward a climax, and I sensed that our actions would determine the course of Aethereia's future. As the energy reached a fever pitch, the temple began to shake, and the ancient walls started to glow with an intense, blinding light. I felt myself being lifted off the ground, my body infused with an otherworldly power. The whispers of Aethereia's ancient magic grew into a deafening roar, and I knew that I was about to unlock a secret that would change the course of history. In the heart of the temple, a portal swirled to life, pulsing with an electric blue light. The air around us seemed to rip apart, revealing a glimpse of a world beyond Aethereia, a world filled with ancient ruins, sprawling cities, and technology that defied understanding. The portal beckoned, drawing me in with an irresistible force. I felt the power of the ancients coursing through me, urging me to take the step that would seal Aethereia's fate. With Arkea by my side, I steeled myself for the unknown, knowing that our decision would shape the destiny of the planet. Together, we took the leap of faith, stepping into the portal and leaving the temple's ancient secrets behind. As we vanished into the unknown, the Eradicator's roar echoed through the caverns, a reminder that our journey was far from over. The fate of Aethereia hung in the balance, And I knew that our next move would determine the course of history previously. Alex and Arkea led a desperate charge against the Eradicator, a monstrous mech spawned from Archon's darkest research, and discovered the ancient temple's secrets, which held the key to defeating Archon and restoring balance to Aethereia. As they explored the temple further, they unlocked a powerful portal that revealed a glimpse of a world beyond Aethereia, a world filled with ancient ruins, sprawling cities, and technology that defied understanding. As we emerged from the portal, the landscape before us was like nothing I'd ever seen. Towering above us were structures that defied gravity, their crystalline spires piercing the sky like shards of glass. The air hummed with an otherworldly energy, and the atmosphere pulsed with an electric blue light that seemed to reverberate through every cell in my body. Arkea's hand still grasped mine, her eyes wide with wonder as we took in the breathtaking vista. "Where are we?" she whispered, her voice barely audible over the hum of the alien technology. I shook my head, awestruck. "I don't know, but I think we've entered a realm beyond Aethereia. Maybe this is the origin of the ancient magic that fuels the heart of Aethereia." As we explored this mystical realm, we stumbled upon ancient artifacts and cryptic murals that hinted at a deeper understanding of Aethereia's forgotten past. The more we uncovered, the more I realized that the secrets of this realm held the key to unlocking Lyra's biotechnology and harnessing the true power of the ancient artifacts. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the structures, her eyes blazing with an ethereal intensity. She was unlike anyone I'd ever seen. Her skin shimmered like the moon, and her hair flowed like the wind. "Greetings, Alex," she said, her voice like music. "I am Lyra, the guardian of this realm. You have been brought here for a purpose, to unlock the secrets of Aethereia's forgotten past and to fulfill an ancient prophecy." Lyra led us through the mystical realm, revealing hidden chambers filled with ancient relics and forbidden knowledge. With each step, I felt the power of the ancients coursing through me, urging me to unlock the secrets that would change the course of history. But we weren't alone. Archon's agents had followed us through the portal, and they would stop at nothing to claim the secrets of this realm for themselves. As we delved deeper into the heart of the mystical realm, we knew that our actions would determine the course of Aethereia's future and the fate of the entire galaxy. We forged onward, driven by our determination to unlock the secrets of Aethereia's forgotten past and to fulfill the ancient prophecy. With every step, I knew that our journey would take us to the very brink of destiny, where the fate of the planet hung in the balance. The stakes had never been higher, and I knew that our resolve would be tested like never before previously. Alex and Arkea had discovered the ancient temple's secrets and unlocked a powerful portal that revealed a glimpse of a world beyond Aethereia, a world filled with ancient ruins, sprawling cities, and technology that defied understanding. As they explored this mystical realm, they stumbled upon ancient artifacts and cryptic murals that hinted at a deeper understanding of Aethereia's forgotten past. But Archon's agents had followed them through the portal, determined to claim the secrets of this realm for themselves. Alex and Arkea stood at the threshold of the mystical realm's heart, surrounded by Lyra's ethereal presence and the reverberating energy of the ancient structures. The air pulsed with an electric blue light, and the atmosphere hummed with an otherworldly power that seemed to resonate deep within Alex's soul. "We're close," Lyra said, her voice like music. "The secrets of Aethereia's forgotten past lie within the heart of the ancients. But you must be warned, Alex, the path ahead will be fraught with danger, and the choices you make will have far-reaching consequences." Arkea's hand tightened around mine, her eyes locked onto the ancient structures ahead. "We're ready," I said, my determination echoing through the mystical realm. Together, we ventured deeper into the heart of the mystical realm, navigating treacherous landscapes and ancient ruins. With each step, the power of the ancients coursed through me, amplifying my abilities and propelling me towards a transformative confrontation with Archon. Finally, we reached the heart of the ancients, a glowing crystal structure that pulsed with the essence of Aethereia's forgotten past. As I approached the crystal, I felt the weight of destiny upon me, and the whispers of the ancient prophecy echoed through my mind. Illyria's eyes blazed with an ethereal intensity as she placed a hand on my shoulder. "The time has come, Alex. You must unlock the secrets of Aethereia's forgotten past and fulfill the ancient prophecy." With a deep breath, I reached out and touched the heart of the ancients. The crystal began to glow, and a surge of ancient power coursed through me, unlocking the secrets of Lyra's biotechnology and harnessing the true power of the ancient artifacts. As the power of the ancients reached its zenith, I felt myself transforming, my vision expanding to encompass the entirety of Aethereia's forgotten past. I saw the ancient civilizations that had shaped the planet, the wars that had ravaged its surface, and the secrets that had been lost to the sands of time. With the secrets of Aethereia's forgotten past unlocked, I knew exactly what I had to do. I channeled the energy of the heart of the ancients, amplifying my abilities to unprecedented levels. As I turned to face Archon's agents, I knew that our final confrontation was at hand. With Arkea by my side, I unleashed the full fury of the ancient power, shattering Archon's stronghold and redeeming past failures. The very fabric of Aethereia began to shift as the planet's ecological balance was restored, and the damage inflicted by Archon's operations began to heal. Elysium and Aethereia poised on the threshold of a brighter future as the seeds of freedom took root, inspiring hope and kindling a future where I emerged as a powerful force driving Aethereia toward a brighter tomorrow. As the dust settled, I stood victorious, my name synonymous with hope as Aethereia teetered on the edge of liberation. I had forged a path guided by duty, courage, and redemption, steering Aethereia towards freedom. In the aftermath, Illyria's eyes shone with a deep respect as she placed a hand on my shoulder. "You have fulfilled the ancient prophecy, Alex. You have unlocked the secrets of Aethereia's forgotten past and restored balance to the planet." Arkea's hand still grasped mine, her eyes shining with tears of joy. "We did it, Alex," she whispered. "We changed the course of history." As we gazed out upon the reborn landscape of Aethereia, I knew that our journey was far from over. The galaxy awaited, filled with ancient ruins, sprawling cities, and technology that defied understanding. I smiled, my heart filled with a sense of purpose and duty as I charted a course into the unknown, guided by the power of the ancients. In the distance, the stars twinkled like diamonds, beckoning me towards the next great adventure. And I knew that I would always stand at the forefront, driven by hope, guided by duty, and steering the course of destiny.